Welcome to Thriving Entrepreneur with your host, Steve Kidd, third-generation minister and 30-year business coach. Listen in as amazing, world-changing authors, speakers, and coaches share their struggles and victories. And hear from best-selling authors' insight into how you too can live your life as a thriving entrepreneur.
This is Steve. Welcome to Thriving Entrepreneur. I'm so grateful to have you here today. I really appreciate every moment that I get to spend with you together here on the radio as we talk about your life and about how you can thrive in your life and in your business, how each day can be the best day. Yesterday's gone. You know, we can't really change what may or may not have happened yesterday, but today we're here. Today we have the ability to rejoice and really enjoy while it's called today. Today is an amazingly fun day for me because I get to bring you an entire episode that is just one interview that I did with a good friend of mine, Quynh Vo. We do actually have a summit, if you're listening live, that starts tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that. But Quynh is going to talk to us about money mastery. She has a money mastery formula. In fact, I'm going to tease it just a little bit here. She's going to teach you how to go to the point where you can retire in 3 years, not 40. Think about that for a minute. 3 years, not 40. How's that for living your life as a thriving entrepreneur? I know I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. We've got a lot of really cool stuff that we were able to talk about. I really enjoyed the conversation with Quynh. She's a lot of fun. We have a blast whenever we're together, and we just kind of laugh and joke. Quynh is just filled with information and insight in the topic of money and money mastery, and she has a lot of experience helping people discover, in the midst of what seems impossible, the way that they can actually become not just okay monetarily, but they can actually be rich, be financially free would be a better word, where the money worries that all of us feel like we have to deal with, we no longer have to, because there is a process in place that allows us to move out of that rat race and really truly retire, and or move on to bigger and better things, to have that life that you really, really want. And more than anything else, whether you're talking about life or business, isn't that the ultimate definition of thriving? Is when every morning you can wake up happy and excited and have the financial assets that support you being the person that you want to, need to, and know you're called to be in life. I can't think of a better way to describe what it's like to live as a thriving entrepreneur. This is, like I said, the whole entire show is going to be just Quynh and I talking, and most of it is just Quynh sharing some really great information for us. And I've got a lot of it here for you. So we are going to not waste any more time, but jump right into our exciting interview with Quynh and talk about how you can find a way to master money. There is a formula for it. Join me in welcoming Quynh Vo. Hey Quynh, how you doing today?
Steve, I'm happy. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm doing great.
Yay! So tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Just a little bit? Come on, give me a little bit more than just a little bit. You know
what?
Here's the thing.
What about you?
What about you? You know what? Actually, what I do is so exciting because I help people retire in 3 years or less. And it sounds very quick, rich scheme, but I'm honestly, like in my work, I tell people, you know what? If you ever see people tell you something like you can click this button and the money will be pouring down, it just doesn't work. I've been through all the ups and downs, the market crashes, and now I have consistently helped people how to create their 3-year freedom plan. And I call it ditch your 40-year retirement plan and get on the 3-year freedom plan. So that's what I teach people to do. For myself, personally, I've been on I would say, a personal spiritual journey, not just on the money side, but also on the spiritual journey, because money is very related to spirituality. And I've been on a journey quite a bit in the last, since 2008, when the crash happened, when I lost millions, when the market crashed in real estate. That's when my personal growth and all the actual living and experience finally came along with me. And this is why I do the work that I do right now, helping people protect their money, grow their money safely, and not have to worry about all the market crashes that's happening around them. That's what I do. That's why I love it.
Yay. So, how much can I make in the next 3 years?
That depends on what kind of assets you have built up for yourself. So what I teach is pretty much for people to create their own assets that they can have full control over, instead of having to depend on the Wall Street, on what's happening in the world. Because you see, if your money is in the Wall Street, is in the market, you are subject to losing it all. Like I've lost it all. And many, many millions of other people have lost it all in the market crashes. Do you know someone who have lost at least a third or a half of their fortune, and they're so devastated that they actually committed suicide because of it? I've known about 3 personal friends or family relatives that have that happen to them. And it's really tragic that, and you know what? I can't blame them, because I was there too. When I lost my millions, I considered committing a very strategic suicide so that my family would be left with millions and they don't have to worry about money again. And myself, I would be out of this shithole where I was millions in debt and, just going from the top to the bottom, the crash. That was why I wanted to consider that option. But luckily, I'm still here. And this is the reason why I'm helping people avoid losing money that way. But you know what? Back to your question. Can you do it in 3 years or less? With you, Steve, the way that you're doing your work right now, absolutely.
I just have to stop spending so much money, right?
No, actually, it's not about the spending. Well, yes, of course, you have to spend within your means, but it's actually my system actually help people create money in their sleep. So you, Steve, have a lot of IP assets that you could be creating. And the IP assets, which is basically intellectual properties. And anyone can have intellectual property, not just people with a lot of alphabets behind their names, all the degrees. It's not about that at all. In fact, a lot of people that I know who are financially free, they don't even have a high education, but they do have one thing in common. And that is they have knowledge that they can share and help other people. So I know that you do this work for a lot of people, helping them create their bestseller, and not just one bestseller, but many bestsellers. And that kind of work is your intellectual property. So you can just create the passive income side of it. And then you can retire within 3 years or less. And by the way that I teach it doesn't mean that you have to accumulate millions of dollars in your bank account before you can retire. It has nothing to do with building the golden goose or catching that golden goose. It's actually building up the assets that can create passive income for you right now, so that in 3 years, that passive income actually surpasses your expenses. And then that means you're financially free. That's the reason why you can do it in 3 years instead of having to wait 40 years to retire. Because with the 40-year retirement plan, you have to build up the golden goose. You have to create a lot of savings. In the way that I teach people, we don't need to create a lot of savings. It's all about building the right assets.
Well, and, since I'm 54 now, taking 40 years to go from now, that would be, sure, I'll live to 94, but I don't know that I want to work to 94.
But you know what, though? The 40-year retirement plan assumes that you have to be saving, a few $100s a month consistently every single month since the day you start working, like maybe at age 25 or at age 30. But by the time 40 years later, 40 years of work and 40 years of savings, and assuming that the market doesn't crashes, then you could be able to retire in 40 years. But the reality is our market crashes every 9 years, between 7 to 9 years. And whenever it crashes, you lose a third or a half of your savings, of your growth. And guess what? It takes you between 7 to 9 years to get your portfolio back to where before you lost all that money, before the crash. And then every 7 to 9 years, it crashes again. So it is a no-win. You can't win in this game of the 40-year retirement plan. Not the way things are right now anyways. In the back maybe 30, 40 years ago, in our parents' generation, they probably worked in one job for one company for probably the entire life, right? Maybe that's your grandfather, our grandfather's generation. Even at my parents' generation, they still had to change quite a few jobs already. But I don't know about you, but I do know that my generation, gosh, on average, we have at least 8 jobs in our lifetime, at least. And most people do not work the same job that they study for. So the degree, whatever they graduated with, their current job is actually not what they studied for, right? So that's the reality of things, where things are right now. And that's why I feel like, why bother savings and work for 40 years before you can retire? Why don't you do it right now with the line of work that you enjoy? Like for me right now, I love my work so much because I help so much people do the things that they love, have the lifestyle that they want. And for me, I work when I want. I work with people that I want, and I work as much as I want, as little or as much as I want. So I control my schedule, and that's what I love. And because I am an entrepreneur at heart, it's very hard for me to work for anyone else. So for those of you who have that entrepreneur itch, I suggest you start something small on the side. For you to start something small on the side right now. And if you have a job, you can save thousands of dollars in taxes every single year. And you can start seeing if you can make money on the side. And that's what I teach people to do. Start a part-time business while they still have a job, to save money, to create a new source of income. And so my 3-year system, my 3-year freedom plan is all about creating multiple streams of income and doing it in a way that once you create that product or that business once, it'll just keep working for you while you create new streams and just improve it and make more money at it. So that's the reason why we can retire in 3 years instead of 40. But you know what, Steve? One caveat though. It might sound sexy. It might sound wow. Or it could sound like, oh my gosh, another get rich quick scheme. By the way, it is not. It requires a lot of work. But I can do it in 3 years, and so can you. But if you need longer time, definitely you can take longer. It's just that it won't take you 40 years. Typically, most people can do it within 5 or 10 if they follow this system. But if you put your head down and work the system like I did, you can do it in 3 years.
And then you can just go around having fun all the time like Quynh does. And still work,
but you know what though? The fun is actually in the work though. I don't see myself retiring from this line of work because I love it so much. First of all, I create events, I create retreats, I create trainings that help change lives. Why would I want to retire from that? And I only want to work with people and I can choose who I want to work with, right? So seriously, I don't see myself wanting to retire from this line of work at all. Except if I wanted to pursue my spirituality work and meditate full time, which I also have that passion as well.
I wonder if a person could really meditate full time. I mean,
you know what though? Every single year I do a 10-day silent retreat called Vipassana meditation. The website is on dhamma.org, dhamma.org. And here's the reason why I do it. 10 days of every single year, I do a silent retreat and I get to look inside versus outside. Because in this retreat, it is a hardcore retreat, 10 days, starting from 4:30 a.m. in the morning and we finish at 9 p.m. It's all meditation, nothing else. Cooking and cleaning, it's done by someone else. We have servers who are volunteers to serve us. our job as a meditator is just to meditate all day and be enlightened by it, by our own work. So for that, I actually love that work as well. And that to me is actually much harder than speaking with you right now, for example, or speaking with my clients or my students. But the spiritual work, I would say it's not easy at all, but it is definitely something that just makes all of us better at the end of the day. So that's why I do it.
And so you really literally go like 10 days without talking? You just like quiet the whole time?
Absolutely. And the 10 days is only the kindergarten level. My next goal is actually to do the 20 days and the 30 days. My problem is this though. I've been meditating this for 20 years, actually no, 18 years since 2002, 19 years actually. But because when I was pregnant with my kids for 2 boys, I actually sat 2 times each of those years. So literally right now I have over 20 years, 10 course on my belt. But I'm still at the kindergarten level because I haven't gone to the 20 days, the 30 days, the 45 days, and even the 60 days silent retreat. And all of these are kind of like the build up, the high school, the college, the university level, right? So the path to enlightenment is pretty long. I don't think I can be enlightenment in 10 days yet.
I have to say, I have a hard time imagining you not saying anything at all for 10 days.
You might be surprised. I actually really enjoy the silence. I really do.
Well, and you did give us a clue for that though too, is because you have kids. So sometimes it's just like 10 days total quiet. I love it. You just appeal to every mom out there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah, I still can't contemplate being quiet. I'd be talking to myself by the end of I already am talking to myself.
You know what? But you know what? You might be surprised because a lot of times when you stop talking, so when you meditate in this technique that I've been taught, Vipassana, you stop talking and when you meditate, you close your eyes. So therefore, most of the times when we wake up, we always look outside. We always see outside and hear outside, right? And here you get a chance to completely shut off the world and then only look inside and see who is this person that is me. And then eventually you might get that, my gosh, there is no me. Literally, I am just, a mass of bubbles arising and passing away. And that is what the technique teaches. You just get to experience the essence of nothingness, the essence of no you, no me, no I, no mine. Oh, I can talk about this all day, Steve.
We are going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back with more from Quynh. We are going to jump now into the money aspect of things and how you can really discover how to master money in your life and live as a thriving entrepreneur. Don't go away. We will be right back.
If you're an author who's on a mission, stand out with your brand out. Check this out, guys. Yep, everything's marketing, and marketing is everything. Your existing book can become a best-selling book, or even, hey, like mine, a #1 international best-selling book in 5 days. Listen, if your business isn't known by everybody, it's obscurity, and that's death, right? The same thing is true for your book. If you're not happy with the way your book is performing, you got that far, and then it just fell off the face of the planet kind of feeling, go to yourbestsellertoday.com. Schedule a talk with Steve. It's risk-free, it's guaranteed, it's proven. We've done it thousands of times. What are you waiting for? Yes, yourbestsellertoday.com. This time next week, you could have a beautiful seal on your book and get the attention that you deserve. Reach the people that you came to serve. Come on now. What are you waiting for? Grab a pen. Here we go. All you got to do is book a call, yourbestsellertoday.com. Go to yourbestsellertoday.com. Book a talk with Steve. It's proven, it's guaranteed, it's gonna happen. All you have to do is say yes to your destiny.
Welcome back to Thriving Entrepreneur.
This is Steve. Welcome back. Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today as we talk about your money mastery formula. Sometimes my tongue gets a little tied there, doesn't it? I've got my great special guest, Quynh Vo. She's talking about her money master formula. In the first segment, we talked a little bit about who Quynh is and where she came up with it and how she learned about that, as well as a little bit of talk about some of the spiritual aspect of life. And now we're going to dive back into it, and we're going to really jump into the money aspect of things. So hold on to your hat, grab a pen if you need to, get ready to take some notes, and let's learn how to master our money.
But I know that today we're here to talk about the money world, the material world, which to me is a means to an end. I make money to support my lifestyle, and I do it that way. I used to, and this is the complete transparency. When I was 27 years old, I first picked up the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then I was like, oh man, I want to be a millionaire. See, because before that, I was making six figure as an accountant. That's my formal education. I was an accountant. Was making six figure, but I was absolutely bored to death in my job. And when I picked up that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I looked at how real estate can give me freedom, financial freedom, and how I can be multimillionaires with that, with investing in real estate, I decided that I wanted to retire fast. And at that time, I wanted to retire because seriously, the job wasn't that fun. So at that time, definitely my goal was to retire fast and rich. And I did it in 3 years. In 3 years, I went all in, invest everything I could, learn everything about real estate, and basically ride the wave. Remember back in 2003, everything was doubling in prices, in value in 3 years by 2006. So at that time, I started with zero, with nothing. And I bought, by 2006, in 3 years, I had bought 26 rental properties. And as you know, if you have 10 rental properties, every single year, you could just refinance one property and pull out $50,000, $100,000 tax-free to live on that, right? So by that time, I had already 26 rental properties, and I could have retired easily. Problem is, man, when you make money very quickly and very easily, you tend to do stupid things, or at least I did. It was the peak of the real estate bubble. Of course, none of us knew that. I thought that I was a genius, doing the right thing, taking action, and taking advantage of the rise in real estate. Little did I know that in 2008, when I started building, so now I had these 26 rental properties, and I was now going into home building, developing. And I became a small builder. I built, and not just, now I kind of went cocky, and I was building multi-million dollar homes, instead of, the regular $200,000 to $500,000 homes, which is a lot easier to sell. But in my case, I was building 5 multi-million dollar homes. And of course I got stuck in the bubble. And with that crash, and with the way I was leveraging to build all these homes, I was stuck with it. And instead of making $300,000 per house, like I was planning to do, that was the plan, to make $300 per house, I was losing $300,000 per house instead. So that made me lost everything. But the money was not the worst thing that I lost. It was my confidence. It was my trust. It was my identity. I was attached to me being, this multimillionaire at the age of 30. Yeah, all that ego. So when I was crushed, man, it was a big crush. It was a big dip. And it took me 10 years to recover from that, just on the confidence level. Actually, I was in a lot of trainings, programs, and I had a lot of coaches to help me pass through that level where I just had zero confidence in my decision making, because I see myself as a failure, as an epic failure. And so working with some coaches, and of course, just a healing journey. At that time, my kids were really young at that time. So the kids was also a big focus, but that helped me regain my confidence. And then I vowed to make all of my mistakes not go wasted. And so all of my pain is now my students' gain or my audience gain, where I help them avoid all the mistakes that I made, and so that they don't lose money in any market crashes, and they don't lose money. And so in my system, there are actually 6 steps to financial freedom. I'm the founder and creator of Money Mastery Formula and the 3-year freedom plan. And it basically boils down to 6 steps. Step number 1. And actually, Steve, can I share the 6 steps? Sorry, I've been talking. I got to check in with the host sometimes.
Yes, please do share the 6 steps with us.
Okay, so the 6 steps are step number 1. By the way, these 6 steps are built upon each other. So if the first step is not built, it's not set up properly, you will lose money, just like I did. So for me, I didn't have step 4 in place. That's why I lost it. So back to the foundation. Step number 1 is your money mindset. You got to have the right mindset to make money and to keep the money. And it's not just about money, 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 money. It's actually about abundance thinking. It's actually about believing that you can do this and anyone can do this and you deserve it. And so it's just a matter of learning how to create wealth. When you go to a school, our formal education system, you learn how to have a job. You learn how to work for someone else, to get a degree so that you can be hired. But when it comes to making money, you actually have to learn very different techniques and different skills. It's about how to make your money work for you, and also how to protect your money from all the dangers around you. So, but first, it has to come from you, knowing that number 1, that you deserve to make a lot of money, to deserve to be rich, and also you can do it. And if you look at all of the richest people in the world, the self-made multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires, they all came from nothing, and most of them don't have a high degree in anything. Most of them were either entrepreneurs or they worked, but they progressed and they became their own self-employed, their own company, their own business. And so step number 1 is the mindset, believing that you can do it. Step number 2.
Actually,
yeah,
I'm going to be mean to the listeners.
Okay, let's do this.
We teased them that they're going to get to hear all 6 steps, but they're not. And here's why. 2 reasons. 1, we've got a really exciting summit coming up this week for people who are listening live. And I know he's going to give us all of that in the summit.
That's true.
6 p.m. Wednesday is when you will be talking.
Yes.
And you can just go to thrivingentrepreneurs.summit.com and sign up for it if you want to. And I'll put a link here in the chat.
And by the way, you don't just get to listen to one speaker, me or Steve, but you get to listen to 27 entrepreneurs, thriving entrepreneurs who are basically sharing with you the strategies of what they're doing right now. And basically, Steve and I are going to drill them. We're going to drill them. We're going to play with them, drill them, and give you the answers that I want to know, that I want my audience to know of why is it that they're thriving in their own business right now.
But in addition to that, if they really want to go deep on this, you have a whole summit of your own.
Exactly.
Just on the money mastery.
That's true. So I have, so every month or 2 months, depending on my mood, actually depending on my schedule. But I actually have a 3 days live event called Money Mastery Formula Live. Also, I call it Money Mastery Live. And at this live event, this is where I teach the 6 basic steps. I mean, not just basic, but this is the full 6 steps. And also I help you create your 3-year freedom plan. So at the 3 days live event, we go into your finance, and wherever you are right now, whether you're in debt or whether you're thriving already, doesn't matter. The key is we're going to get you to the 3-year freedom plan. And you know what? You might be surprised thinking that a lot of people who are well off right now, that they have a good job, they have good savings, that they might retire faster. But the truth is no. It's in fact the people that are struggling right now, that are barely making ends meet, or maybe even be in debt. They are actually more likely to succeed in this 3-year freedom plan because they have the motivation to. So that's the reason why I like this work so much, because the people who are doing well right now, they are comfortable. They don't need my stuff that urgently. And so that's the reason why they don't do the work, a lot of them. But I save them from losing money in the any market crashes. So I still feel good about that. But otherwise, it's the people who are sick and tired of their job. They want to escape their 9 to 5. They want to create money faster. They want to live the freedom lifestyle like I do. Those are the people that do the most work and are more serious about the line of work. So that's the reason why they can retire in 3 years. And you know what, Steve? Those dates coming up are actually, it's September 17, 18, 19, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a 4 days of work. We only have a long lunch break. And that is pretty much the only break you get, other than, the bio break in between. And these 3 days, if you've ever wonder, where did my money go? Come to this 3 days event, because then you will know exactly where your money is. And also, more importantly, instead of asking, where did my money go? You would be telling where your money should be going. And that's what it boils down to, money mastery formula. And if you're interested in joining my class, the link to sign up is called moneymasteryformula.com/live. If you go to that link, you will see the next live event and you can sign up for it. And by the way, everything I do, everything I teach, I always have a 30 days money back guarantee. And so even if you sign up for the event and attend the entire 3 days, the entire thing, and you feel like, you know what, this is not exactly what I can do, or if you feel like this is not something you're ready to do right now, feel free to let me know, and we'll gladly refund your money, because honestly, I don't want to keep money from people who I can't help and who don't see that this is for them. So so go to moneymasteryformula.com/live and check out the page and sign up for the event. You're protected by the 30 days money back guarantee. I know lots of events, they give you a 1 day money back guarantee, attend the first day. And if you don't like it, let us know and you can get your money back. Here, I let you attend the entire thing. Go for the full 3 days. And if for any reason you don't like it, let me know and you get your money back.
Wow, that's really awesome, because that is your time and you can't get that back, and some really great resources. So that's really cool.
And I do believe in it, and that's the reason why I want to make sure that I can get this in the hands of as many people as possible.
A money back guarantee. That is absolutely amazing, for you to be able to learn how to master your money, how to go from thinking that you're going to need to spend the rest of your life to be able to ever maybe retire, and to have a program, a formula for retiring in as little as the next 3 years. And you can do all of it knowing that there's no risk, that if you don't really see the value in it, Quynh would rather give you your money back than to have you walk away feeling incomplete and unsatisfied. That is really some amazingly awesome stuff. I really do hope that you will take her up on it. You will go to moneymasterformula.com/live. Sign up for that event. It will totally be worth it. And it will really, truly help you live as a thriving entrepreneur. Now, next, we are going to take another quick commercial break, and then we will be right back with more help and advice from Quynh here on Thriving Entrepreneur. Don't go away.
If you're an author who's on a mission, stand out with your brand out. Check this out, guys. Yep, everything's marketing, and marketing is everything. Your existing book can become a best-selling book, or even, hey, like mine, a #1 international best-selling book in 5 days. Listen, if your business isn't known by everybody, it's obscurity, and that's death, right? The same thing is true for your book. If you're not happy with the way your book is performing, you got that far and then it just fell off the face of the planet kind of feeling, go to yourbestsellertoday.com. Schedule a talk with Steve. It's risk-free, it's guaranteed, it's proven. We've done it thousands of times. What are you waiting for? Yes, yourbestsellertoday.com. This time next week, you could have a beautiful seal on your book and get the attention that you deserve. Reach the people that you came to serve. Come on now. What are you waiting for? Grab a pen. Here we go. All you got to do is book a call. Yourbestsellertoday.com. Go to yourbestsellertoday.com. Book a talk with Steve. It's proven. It's guaranteed. It's going to happen. All you have to do is say yes to your destiny.
Welcome back to Thriving Entrepreneur.
This is Steve. Welcome back. We are talking today about how to master your money. Quynh Vo is my guest. She's been talking to you about money mastery and the formula that she created that is actually literally called the Money Master Formula. How you can, rather than taking 40 years to be at a place where you can maybe retire, you could actually retire in as little as 3 years. And just before the break, we were talking about the product that she has, the 3-day intensive weekend that will teach you all the nuances of it. And we talked just a little bit about step 1, but we do have so much more that we want to cover here with Quynh. We really do want you to be able to understand some of the fundamentals of money mastery, of being powerful in your own life, in your money, because that is so key to really truly being able to thrive. With that said, let's jump right back into it with Quynh. So, since we talked about just step number 1 and about your mindset, what would you say is the biggest thing that keeps people stuck? That they just they keep hitting that same wall mindset wise, and they can't get past it money wise.
Yeah. So there's 2 groups that I see has these 2 kinds of different problems. The first group is the professionals, the people that make good money, like 6-figure income even, but they are still stuck in the rat race because they don't know how to save money so that they actually invest that money wisely and retire with their golden goose, or create new streams of income. Now, those group of people who are comfortable in their job, like they have a source of income coming in, their biggest holdback, their biggest challenge would be to do something new, to create money in a new way, because they're so used. And here's the thing, they have invested years into their job, into their degree. It's very hard for them to feel like, okay, now I need to learn something new, create money in a new way. And so they tend to shy away from trying something new. So they are stuck in their own golden handcuffs. That's what I call it. And the problem with those people is they can't retire in 3 years. There's no way. Even if they make 6 figures, 7 figures in their job, and with their lifestyle, it usually people tend to spend as much as they make, right? And so for those people, they may be having a good job, good source of income, but guess what? Something like COVID could happen. Something like their job could be lost due to any reason, technology, all that stuff, right? So if they only have one source of income coming in, no matter how good that source of income is, they are at risk. They are putting themselves and their loved ones at risk if they only have one source of income. So that's the first thing I want to say about that group of people. Now, the second group of people is the people who are struggling to make ends meet. They lost their job, or their job is just barely paying the bills and they don't make a lot of money, so they don't save. They're not able to save a lot of money. For this second group of people, most likely they don't have a high income. No, what do you call that? a high income, a high income generating skill. Is that how I say it? But basically, they feel like, oh my gosh, in order for me to make money, I need to go back to school 4 years and get a degree and all that stuff. But you know what? No, don't do that. Because I have known so many people, including my own family, my nieces and my nephews, they graduated with a 4-year degree in science, in even in engineering. And guess what? They can't find a job. They can't find a job with the degree. So don't make the mistake of investing 4 years and $100,000 in education to go back to get a job. It doesn't work. And so the best way for you right now, if you are struggling to meet ends meet, to pay the bills and to support your family, the best way for you right now is to create a new stream of income in what I teach, what I call affiliate marketing, or creating your own IP, intellectual property assets. It's very easy to do. It's not that hard. There is, of course, new skills that you have to learn, but this is way faster than going back to school and investing years of your life in this. For me, in this training, in fact, the 3 days program, if you were to sign up for the Money Mastery Live, you can literally make money at the end of the 3 days. And the money that you make could literally be $500 for each referral that you send. And that basically is what I call affiliate marketing. So let me go back to my point around the second challenges for the second type of people who are struggling to meet ends meet is they don't believe that they can do it. They don't believe that they have the necessary skill in order to make money and retire in 3 years or less. They don't believe in themselves. And that's very normal. Now, the people who are having a comfortable life with their job or with their business, they are confident in what they do, in their job, in their business. But again, they don't have the freedom. They're stuck to that job. They're chained to that unless they have saved up the golden goose for retirement to be able to live on their passive income. And for me, instead of building up the golden goose, which could take 40 years, and that is the typical, the thing that we've been taught to do, right? I don't do that. I feel like that's just a waste of time. I want to enjoy my life right now. And so I'm going to spend 3 years building up my assets and creating multiple streams of income so that I can actually retire if I wanted to in 3 years. And so those are the two things. It's all about mindset. It's all about believing that they can do it. And you know what? If you were to, in my program, I actually asked them of all the challenges that they have, thinking that, okay, because I don't have this is the reason why I'm broke. And because I don't have this is the reason why I can't create wealth. Look at all the reasons that they have for themselves, for why they're broke. And find one person out there who is super successful and rich, even though they have that same problem. And that is one of the exercises that I ask people to do. And in my training, I give them a lot of examples of all types of challenges that people have, and yet they still become super successful. So it has nothing to do with where they're at right now. Where they're at right now has nothing to do with where they can be in 3 years or in the future. So wherever you are right now, just know that you too can do it.
That is such good news, because it feels like, and I don't know if it's worse now than it ever has been, it feels like, though, really just kind of in general the last year or so, with COVID and everything, it's like all hope has been sucked out of the room. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's true. All the traditional business, like the brick and mortar, they all suffered, including landlords, including rental real estate landlords. And that used to be really, really good. But even with the COVID situation, this is the first time ever in history where we're allowed to not pay rent and not be kicked out, where landlords can't collect rent legally, right? So this is bizarre, but it is the truth. The only good news for the landlords right now is that they don't have to pay the bank either. So the bank can't foreclose on them yet until they lift that ban, right? But once that ban is lifted, my gosh, you're going to see a whole flux of properties going into foreclosure. So that's why right now, if you have access to money or you have money sitting in your savings, this is a great time for you to be investing in real estate eventually. And by the way, I'm asking you to not just do it blindly, but actually to know what you're doing. So I don't invest in anything that I don't understand, but I love real estate, even though I've lost millions and I lost myself because of the real estate crash. But it still is one of my favorite ways to invest my money. I don't put money in the stock, I put it in real estate. And so, like you said, COVID, it's just changed so many. It's just basically, it's a new thing that affected so many lives, so many careers, and so many investment.
It really does become a really good opportunity for us to all, going way back to the beginning when we were talking here, to stop, maybe even shut up a little bit and really evaluate what's really important versus all the things that we put so much importance on that, really it isn't.
Absolutely.
Really make a difference.
Yeah. And you know what though, with COVID, there was a lot of new business popping up. Like, so for example, they had to be shifts, right? First of all, we can't meet in person anymore. So the online world was like, it's like everything is online now, right? And then so coaching, teaching guitars, teaching piano, every type of regular in-person coaching or meeting now all of a sudden can become global online, which open up like completely. Your market is now open instead of just local. Now it's you're open to the world. So there's also the negative side, but also the positive side. So are you able to monetize and to take advantage of whatever is happening in the world? So in my program, what I teach is literally for people to see opportunities and seize it and grab it. Yeah. But COVID is definitely one of those things that is a curse and a blessing both. And for me, definitely it is a blessing because I get to make more difference in the world, actually. Because when life is good, people don't tend to seek the spiritual side, right? Or seek the another way of making money. Because when life is good, when their job is good, when they have income coming in, they don't tend to rock the boat and try something new. But when things are shaken, like COVID, then all of a sudden we're forced to try something new. And guess what? For some of us who embrace changes, we literally found that, oh my gosh, this is way better. Like of all my clients that I helped create their online courses, creating IP assets and building multiple streams of income, oh my gosh, they just open up their business to a whole new world. Instead of being, just local, now they're global market, which is great for them. So yeah, I would say that any challenge, any problems that you have, if you can just stop and just look behind that problem, there's probably a huge opportunity waiting for you that you just didn't see because you only focus on the problem.
That makes a heck of a lot of sense. I mean, really. So let's be really good teachers right here at the end. We talked a little bit about it, but let's give a person something they could do, tangibly could do right now to begin to make that shift. Since we talked about mindset, what's one thing that they can do right now that would make a difference in their mindset for their money?
You know what? The one thing that they can do right now is probably just, and this is free stuff on Google, just YouTube it or you Google it. But any challenges that you're having right now, like any fears that you might have right now, think about that fear or that challenge and look at how someone else with the exact same fear, with the exact same challenge, overcame it and became super successful. And by the way, if you were to look at the biography of all of the famous people like Oprah, Richard Branson, even Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is he didn't came from poor, but or Walmart, Sam Walton, like all those big names, all the multi-hundred millionaires and multi-billionaires, many of them came from nothing. Many of them don't have a degree. Many of them went bankrupt. Many of them had nothing except they trust themselves. They believe in what they were doing. And so for you, if you're struggling, and by the way, this is the biggest reason why people are broke. It's the mindset. It's not the skill. Creating wealth is a learnable skill. It's just like swimming. You just have to learn how to swim and you'll be able to swim. Take lessons, get in the water. But by the way, you cannot learn swimming by reading a book. So creating wealth, same thing. You can't learn it by reading a book. You actually have to jump in and do the work. So, but learnable, very learnable. Creating wealth is so, it's kind of like learning how to swim pretty much. You just have to take the steps A, B, C, D, and then get in the water and then do this and do that. Same thing with learning the how to build wealth. And so the only thing that could stop you is you. That's it. Your own belief in yourself. And and I went through this myself too. So I understand how sometimes you feel like a failure. Sometimes, and I did. I definitely felt like a huge failure when I lost it all. And there were times when I felt like, oh my gosh, how am I going to ever get out of this shithole, this debt? And it's just a matter of believing in yourself that you can do it. And it would really help you if you do the things that you love. And so therefore the work becomes play. And that is where I'm at right now. And I'm so grateful that I went through all that pain and struggle when I lost all my money so that I can reinvent myself right now and do what I love and make good money at it and have such a freedom lifestyle. And so that's the reason why I feel like I need to share this information to more people. How about you, Steve? What kind of teaching can you give our audience here for the mindset stuff?
Well, the biggest thing that I will say, and I won't even take credit for it. This is a friend of mine, Ernie Villanueva, has a great phrase. He always says, yesterday was a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Today is the only legal tender you can spend. And I always jump off from that point because really the truth of the matter is this. Today is the only day we know for sure. You can't change yesterday. There's a lot of things we'd do differently if we could go back there, but we can't. And we've ought to have learned this last year, if nothing else, that, we don't know if tomorrow's even coming, let alone what it's going to look like. So what we can control is today. And it's really just about how can you be the best you that you can be while it's called today. And if we just focus on that, it's amazing how much better tomorrow will be when we're really good today.
Absolutely. Mic drop.
I do encourage everyone, go to moneymasteryformula.com/live. Sign up for Quynn's event. I did put in the event, the link for you to join our summit that starts tomorrow. And you'll get to hear lots more of Quynh and I talking to people and grilling them and learning some really fun things. We'll probably be sitting there with notepads ourselves taking notes and stuff. So join us on either of those. Quynh, thanks so much for spending some time with me here on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
That is so much good stuff. Ooh, I just can't even believe all of the nuggets of wisdom, all of the insight into one of the things that is for all of us, let's be honest, one of the most difficult parts of life, and that's money. That feeling that there's always just a little bit more that needs to be beyond the money that there is. I know I'm the only one that ever feels that, but thank you all for going with me on that anyway. But for those of you that have ever found yourself wanting more, wishing that there was a way that you could really truly be financially free, I want you to know that it is very possible for you, that you absolutely can do it, and that it really is there for you to do in all the things that you do, every step of the way. I really hope that you will step up for yourself to mastering your money so that you can remove that biggest gap, I would say, that there is between here and being able to really truly make the impact that each of us can make in the world. And that's just being able to afford it. It's just really truly the simple concept of, oh, if I only had X amount of dollars, I would do, and then we insert the what we would do if we had that money thing in there. And I really do hope that all of us can move beyond the place where it's, if I only had the money, I would, to an empowered place of, I feel so blessed that I'm free enough that the things that I know that I need to be able to do in life, that there are the finances there that gives me the freedom to be able to do it, that I truly have mastered my money, and that I'm no longer a slave to the 9-to-5 job, the bills that overwhelm me, all of those kind of things. And I can now really just invest my time, my treasure, my life, everything that I do in really just being the best version of myself, making the difference that only I can make in this world, and being a blessing to everyone that I come in contact with. I know you're the type of person, you will totally do that. And so with this information, and even going further and working in more detail with Quynh, I know that you can get to the place where you can experience a breakthrough of freedom in your money. You can feel as though you are the master of your money rather than your money being the master of you. And then you can do even more good in the world because you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose, and the world needs you. There is so much opportunity waiting for you, so many people that need you, and it's just purely and simply a matter of being able to step up and do the thing that you know how to do as you, and allowing the money to be just simply a tool that empowers you to be the best you, as I said a little earlier, while it's called today. That's what I want for you. I want to see you thrive in your life, in your business, in everything that you do, that you will find yourself happy, safe, warm, and loved, that you know just how amazing you are, and that you will live every day of your life as a thriving entrepreneur. Until next time, have a great week.
Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today. If you want to get your question answered, send an email to questions@wehelpyouthrive.com. We look forward to you joining us again next time.
If you're an author who's on a mission, stand out with your brand out. Check this out, guys. Yep, everything's marketing, and marketing is everything. Your existing book can become a best-selling book, or even, hey, like mine, a #1 international best-selling book in 5 days. Listen, if your business isn't known by everybody, it's obscurity, and that's death, right? The same thing is true for your book. If you're not happy with the way your book is performing, you got that far and then it just fell off the face of the planet kind of feeling, go to yourbestsellertoday.com, schedule a talk with Steve, Steve. It's risk-free, it's guaranteed, it's proven. We've done it thousands of times. What are you waiting for? Yes, yourbestsellertoday.com. This time next week, you could have a beautiful seal on your book and get the attention that you deserve. Reach the people that you came to serve. Come on now. What are you waiting for? Grab a pen. Here we go. All you got to do is book a call. Yourbestsellertoday.com. Go to yourbestsellertoday.com. Book a talk with Steve. It's proven. It's guaranteed. It's going to happen. All you have to do is say yes to your destiny.